Dr. Gilberto Zelaya from the Montgomery County Board of Elections, thank you so much for joining me. Are there any updates that residents should know when it comes to this upcoming election in November?
Yes, so since Governor Hogan's proclamation, a lot of things have changed, and I want to thank MCM for giving us the platform to educate and inform the electorate. Number one, early voting. Early voting will be held from October 26th through November 2nd. We have our 11 early voting centers already approved by the State Board of Elections and our local Board of Directors at the Board of Elections. So we have 11 locations. At those 11 locations, we will have ballot drop bins or boxes at those 11 locations, so individuals who request to vote by mail could deposit their ballot accordingly. Secondly, Election Day, November 3rd, Tuesday, we are consolidating our 248 voting polling places into vote centers as per Governor Hogan's instructions via the Maryland State Board of Elections. So we will work through the public high schools, and we're working out the details about adding additional locations. Once we have those approved by the State Board of Elections, we promise to work through MCM and through other media outlets and community advocates to inform the electorate of those changes.
Is there any more important information when it comes to these voting sites that you think people should know in Montgomery County?
So the voting sites are going to be ADA accessible. We have the 11 identified, and you could go on our website for those locations. They're going to be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., similar hours to Election Day. And once early voting ends, which is the 2nd of November, we will incorporate them into our vote centers, which will be most likely all of the Montgomery County public high schools. But once we have that information, we will share that with you. But what's paramount, what's critical, number one, register to vote. Number two, if you have a desire to vote by mail, submit that application today. Number three, if you're voting in person, I encourage you to help us, help others, serve as a poll worker, and you can help us make your voting experience outstanding. And please be vote ready.
What can you say to reassure voters that vote by mail is actually safe, or what do you have to say about that?
So vote by mail is safe, secure, and convenient. Keep in mind, we will have ballot drop boxes at every single of our 11 early voting centers, including the city of Rockville and the Montgomery County Board of Elections in Gaithersburg. Right now, we're working out the details at having ballot drop boxes at our vote centers. And once we have that information, we will share. We will guarantee 24-hour return if you deposit that ballot into that drop box. They're under 24-hour surveillance. We will have bipartisan teams of Board of Elections staff, a Democrat and a Republican, or a Democrat and an unaffiliated, emptying out those bins between once to twice a day. Obviously, as we get closer to early voting and Election Day, we'll be emptying them out twice a day, including Sundays. So rain or shine, we will guarantee a 24-hour return of your ballot if you deposit it into our ballot drop boxes. But the U.S. Postal Service is also an option. But if you have any concerns, use the bins at the Montgomery County Board of Elections or at our 11 early voting locations or at the City Hall in Rockville.
Dr. Zelaya, are there any other recommendations or anything else you would like residents to know?
Yes, so the first thing is we're here to serve, and all roads lead back to the Montgomery County Board of Elections. So number one is you need to be registered to vote to participate in the franchise. Very easy, using your cell phone. What you could do is text the word VOTE, V-O-T-E, to 77788. Or if you need to review and update your voter registration, you could also text the word CHECK, C-H-E-C-K, to 77788. And if you would like to request to vote by mail, there's no need to wait for the Maryland State Board of Elections to send you the vote by mail application. All you need to do is text the 3 letters VBM for vote by mail, VBM, to 77788. So make sure your record is up to date. Make sure you're registered, because the voter registration deadline is Tuesday, October 13th. And make sure you submit your request to vote by mail as soon as possible. The deadline is October 20th. And nonetheless, if you have a desire to vote in person at one of our 11 early voting locations or on Election Day at the vote centers, I highly recommend and I ask you to help us help others. If you're voting in person, please serve as a poll worker. You can earn up to $310 per day or up to 25 student service learning hours. Our 11 early voting centers will be incorporated into the vote centers on November 3rd. And once we have those details on our vote centers, which will be our high schools, we're looking at other facilities, we will inform the public of those locations. And there also will be provided in the sample ballot that we are legally obligated to mail all registered voters and any of our publications. So I welcome everyone to like our Facebook and Twitter and social media handles. That's at 777VOTE because we're posting things 2-3 times a day. And if you could circulate that valuable information, that will help others prepare and be vote ready for November 3rd or during early voting.